Yo, what's good, guys? Today we got German culture shocks that finally make sense to me as an American. Now, listen, I want to visit all these places. I think it would be cool to visit these places. So honestly, I'm half watching this video just to hear the culture shocks. But it's intriguing to see what this guy's got to say. Got some drone shots of Germany.
So I just got back from my second trip to Germany, and there are going to be a lot of vlogs that are going to show you guys what my experiences were like and some very different culture shocks this time that I had versus the first time. And that's actually what this video is going to be about. Culture shocks that I didn't understand before that finally make sense to me. We're going to go through a list of them and kind of break down how I found the culture shocks that I experienced to make a lot more sense. And I actually have a list right here on my iPad, and I'm going to kind of read them off and talk about them a little bit. So if you guys can, just go ahead and drop a like on this video, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yo, subscribe. I literally was looking at my analytics and it says like 7% of the people that watch my videos subscribe. So like, you know, if we can raise that to like 8%, that would be awesome. Like
very shocked this time around for sure, and I got a very sharp dose of German culture that I didn't get before for several reasons. One of them is because I decided to venture out and explore outside of Cologne, or Köln. I explored outside of Köln Köln.
Köln? Is that how you say it? Köln? Is that what you're saying?
I can't pronounce it right, and I've been practicing for a while. Point being, there's some points I wanted to talk about. Number one, and we're gonna get right into it, and some of these might make you guys a little upset. Maybe some of you guys might agree with what I have to say. I have to preface this when I make videos like this because they are, at the end of the day, my opinions, and they're not factual or non-factual. These are just how I feel about the things I experienced. First,
hey bro, on like the 2% chance you watch this video, no matter what you say, somebody's gonna get mad. Right? Like, and even sometimes when I know I'm saying something that might piss people off, I go out my way and be like, hey, chill. It's just a YouTube video. And people still get mad. So, like, just say what you gotta say, my man.
First and foremost, let me start off by saying Cologne or Köln, it's a city, right? And it's a very accepting city. So a lot of things that I was worried about going to Germany, I didn't have to worry about when I went to Köln. Right?
Okay.
For instance, filming. I didn't have to worry about filming. I had no issue. I was expecting people to freak out or yell at me for pulling my camera out, or even when I live streamed, I expect for people to like rip my phone from my hand and toss it to the side and yell obscenities at me. I mean, I've seen some meme compilations from Germany where the people in the background were so infuriated, they would like,
damn, do people really get that mad over? That's crazy.
Yell at the streamer or yell at the YouTuber for filming. So I expected that coming to Germany, and I didn't get that. So that's one of the things. And then of course, a lot of people don't really have the traditional, German behavioral things that people talk about in culture shock videos. When you hear expats talk about German behaviors and stuff like that when they go to Germany for the first time, what you'll experience in Köln is not exactly what you'll experience everywhere else. Some things, but not.
So is that city kind of like Americanized, or is everybody that lives there just kind of like chill and just don't care?
Most of those things. For instance, crossing the street and just certain etiquettes and whatnot, noise levels and all that other good stuff, that's not really going to apply to a big city like Köln. Because once again, it's a big city, and Cologne is known for being the most accepting place in Germany, from what I've been told.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. So, the very first culture shock for me that made sense, the Deutsch Bond.
Okay, it's really cool how he's got like the footage of him like actually checking the place out instead of just like him talking. Like he's got footage of him there so we can put that with. That's cool.
So many words for the Deutsch Bond. I'm gonna try to keep it brief because I want to move on to these other points, but let's talk about that really quick. The first time I hopped on the Deutsch Bond was my first time in Germany earlier this year, and it was really cool. The car was quiet, people were super nice, and it was a very amazing experience. It was an amazing experience this time, being able to ride the Deutsch Bond. Now, one thing that I got from my subscribers, from a lot of you guys watching this, were complaints about how the Deutsch Bahn was not punctual. It wasn't on time. It became very aggravating. It really started to
I'm assuming it's like a train or like a subway station from like the little video he had, but I'm not sure if it's like a subway or if it's an actual train.
conflict with people's schedules, and I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Trains are late. That just happens. And now I understand why you guys told me that, okay? Not on one occasion, or two, or three, or four, or five. It was more like 9, 10, maybe 12, maybe 14 times that the Deutsch Bond either was extremely late or just didn't show up at all.
Damn!
It was crazy. So I had to really finesse and finagle my schedule around the Deutsch Bond. That is the dark side of that thing. Now, I told you guys, the Deutsch Bond got a mind of its own. Like, when it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's always construction issues or hardware issues on the actual train itself, or some...
I'm not gonna lie, I think that's the first time I've ever heard anything negative about Germany. Like, that's the first time I've ever heard someone talk like, man, this sucks. Like, every other video I see, it's like, oh man, it's awesome. Like, this kind of cool. It like humanizes the place a little bit, you know? Like, everywhere it's got its flaws.
Some kind of delay for some mysterious reason. It's incredibly insane and very aggravating. And at first I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I get exactly why people were telling me Deutsche Bahn it'll put you in a particular mood. Because it wasn't just me that was upset. Of course, the locals were very upset in all of those situations that I was in. So just to...
For real, like, it's got to be worse than for the locals, because like, he's on vacation, and like, obviously he don't want his vacation messed up, but the locals probably got to get to work, they got to get this wherever, right? Like, they probably got like real day-to-day life plans, not just on their little vacation. Not that, you know, vacations shouldn't go to plan, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's got to be even worse for the locals.
To say I had a bone to pick with that train company just because it's not reliable if you're trying to get somewhere on time. It's not reliable. I'd say you'll get to work on time or to a location that you plan to be on time maybe 40% of the time. 60% of the time, the train is going to be extra late. So my advice to people taking the Deutsche Bahn, go to that motherfucker an hour early or 2 hours early. You might be able to catch a train that will fit or be late enough to actually fit into your schedule. Okay?
Damn.
So anyways, that was my first thing I had to acknowledge that made sense. I didn't understand what you guys were telling me before with why you had so many frustrations.
Note to self, whenever I go there, skip the Deutsch Bomb. Is that how you say it? I probably butchered that.
With the Deutsch Bond until I...
Deutsch Bond. I said Deutsch Bomb. I thought that shit was gonna blow up.
He experienced it for myself this time, and I was upset. I had a lot of places to be, a lot of things to film and stuff like that, and just things to take part in and whatnot. And I also didn't want to waste other people's time because I was on other people's time, honestly, when I was in Germany. And a lot of the time when I was late, it was because of the Deutsche Bahn. So
him saying he's on other people's time makes me believe maybe he was there for work or something. Not that it's really any of my business what he's there for. But it's just, at first I just assumed he was there like on a vacation or something. But
all I have to say is thank you, Deutsche Bahn. The next point is bikers. I didn't understand why the bikers in Germany were so angry. I talked about it. I'm like, dude, like, why are bikers so aggressive? Like, there'll be one person walking in the bike lane and they freak out. Well, on this particular trip, as you'll see in several vlogs that are coming out very soon, I got to ride bikes in Germany quite often. And it was, first of all, beautiful experience until we got to, like, you know, very populated areas where people decided to walk in the bike lane. Now, I'm not the best biker, I will admit, but I can stay within the lines, right? The problem is I can't swerve out of the way fast enough. So if you're in the bike lane, both of us finna get injured, okay? It's no bueno for both of us. So please, stay the fuck out of the bike lane. Stay out of the bike lane, please.
That's funny. See, that's one interesting thing. Like, now, I don't know, say when, like, he's talking about German bikers, he's talking about people on, like, say, bicycles, right? When I think of a biker, I'm thinking of, like, a Harley rider with, like, his fucking leather jackets on, like, a real straight, like, fucking MC club type shit.
If you're a tourist traveling to Germany, or if you're in Germany and you just, happen to walk in bike lanes because you feel like it, please don't. Especially if I'm in the bike lanes, because we're both gonna collide into each other and it's not gonna be beautiful. Okay, it's crazy, it's stressful. I was never more stressed than when I was biking in the city of Germany and people were in the bike lane. People that were walking in the bike lane that shouldn't have been in the bike lane were in the bike lane. And it made me frustrated. I'm like, oh my God. It was crazy. So yeah, that's another thing. Makes sense now. I didn't understand why bikers were so mad, but I understand. Now, the next point I'm going to bring up is actually something.
Like, do y'all not have sidewalks though? Because I'm not gonna lie, if I see someone in the bike lane and I'm on a bicycle, I'm going to the sidewalk. Like, I don't care. Like, now, of course, he's probably in a big city, so it's probably difficult regardless. So, that might offset that. But that's me.
That all of you will agree, but I got to understand on the most, finite level of how thorough this particular point is about to be. And it is the quality of the German food. All of it.
See, this is what I always hear. This is why, man, listen, I'm about to gain, 30 pounds when I go to Germany, just by how much I eat, if what y'all telling me is true, because you keep hyping up this food, man, crazily.
It is delicious, right? I'll give you a simple example and then we'll move. I went to McDonald's for the first time in Germany, right? And I didn't do that the last time because I'm like, bro, it's McDonald's, what's, whatever. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting it to taste like all the other McDonald's and stuff, right? And for the most part, I thought it was, I was expecting it to, but the thing is, it still tasted fresh, even though, some of the stuff McDonald's gives, countries and whatnot, is, their product, whatever. All of the items in Germany that I had, including in this McDonald's in Germany, was fresh. The bacon, fresh. The eggs, fresh. The bread, fresh. They had a little cute bakery in the McDonald's that I got to see, and that was awesome. You're gonna see that video coming out sometime soon. It was very cool. I went to a breakfast place in Germany when I filmed a bakery video that I promised you guys. That bakery video is also going to be out very soon as well. And the breakfast was just so fresh. The smoked salmon didn't feel like I was eating chemical fish. And then the bacon.
Damn.
I've never in my life seen garnish on bacon. Those little leaves.
What?
Bro, they put these little leaves on my bacon. And I'm like, oh my God. And the bacon.
Time out. Y'all garnish your bacon. That's a thing. At McDonald's, of all places. Wait, no, he's talking about at this baking place. Never mind, that's not connected. But still, y'all garnish your bacon.
Bacon tasted like God crafted it, okay? It was delicious. That was the best bacon I've had in my entire life. Also, I know I said I would keep it short, but let me add in one more thing. I'm not sure if you guys saw the video that I made on my channel where I attempted to make schnitzel and speak German in one vlog. Yeah, the schnitzel didn't come out great and my German was trash, okay? This time around, I had a professional German chef teach me, an American, how to make schnitzel from scratch. And we went to a butcher and got this beautiful slice of pork, right? This beautiful mound of pork, and we cut it into slices and did the whole shebang, and it was very delicious. The final product was very delicious. I can't wait to show you that video, but all to say, the ingredients were fresh. Nothing felt artificial or anything or processed, and I loved the country 1,000 times more for that. I loved it the first time I was in Germany and ate food, but I ate way more food this time, arguably, than I did the first time, and it really, my body loved it. There was not a singular thing that my body ingested where my stomach wanted to do a backflip. Nothing that I ate had my body questioning itself. In every other country I've been to, my stomach does a backflip, some way, shape, or form, but not in Germany. The food's good. Next point, the clubs don't close early. And that was a culture shock. As you know, your boy went to Gamescom, which means your boy also got invited to some parties. I partied my ass off. Not gonna lie, I partied my ass off. Now, I'm gonna make a side note, a little statement for some people that I saw making comments on some other YouTubers' videos that I happen to be in, either in the background or as maybe a feature in their videos. People are saying that when I laugh, right, my mouth moves and I smile, but my face is stale. I partied so much. I went out and filmed so much content and stuff like that. I was exhausted. So I was thoroughly enjoying every moment, but my body was so exhausted that everything from here up was like this, and then my mouth was like, you know what I mean? Because
that's funny. Nah, that's crazy. my man's got to defend himself on how he's gonna laugh. Like, that is crazy.
I was trying to really be in the.
That's what I mean when I'm like, people just need to mind their own business. Like, let my man laugh how he wants. You don't know what he's dealing with.
Moment, but I was also exhausted at the same time. That makes sense. Anyways, I digress. The clubs don't close early. We went to this one place and it closed at like 5, 6 in the morning, bro. I went to Woodhouse for the first time in Cologne, and that was the most intense club I've ever been to in my life. Then I went to Experion, which is obviously not a club, but it was a place to party. They shut it down and invited a bunch of creators over there, and it was really dope. They had a dance floor downstairs and stuff, a nice little DJ, a lot of cool drinks.
What? Not that I just was talking about minding my own business. Now I'm about to ask, like, what was this dude doing? Because he's saying, like, he went there with a bunch of creators and stuff. Like, what was going on that, like, got him out there? I'm actually curious. Again, I was just talking about people to mind their own business. Now I'm being all nosy and shit. But still.
Drinks, and it was a great time. Had a blast. I just
I've
did
never
not
heard of this
expect
guy, by the way. Like, I've never heard of this guy. I know nothing about this guy. So, like, you know, I don't know what's going on his channel and what's he doing. So everybody watching this may watch this guy and know, but I don't.
Clubs to close after 2 a.m. Now, Korea, a lot of the clubs stay open until like 9 a.m. So I'm like, oh, cool. That must be one of the only countries in the world that has clubs that close after 2 a.m. No, I was wrong. Culture shock. Germany, their clubs close pretty late too. And the people party way harder. Oh my God, the people party way harder. People in Korea party hard and stuff like that. But I finally got to experience a weekend in Germany. And that's gonna be my next point. The weekends in Germany, bro, are crazy. Now, people during the week, they work. They obviously work. They do their thing. It's very hunky-dory. It's not too crowded, especially in a city like Cologne. It's not too crowded during the day, obviously, because people have things to do, school or work or whatever. During the weekend, this was my first time experiencing a weekend in Germany. People were turning the freak up. They were partying. They were going crazy. And I loved it, bro. Like, I feel like Germans actually party harder than Americans. I had a lot of people ask me, like,
Oh, really now? Is that so? Is okay. Okay, we're gonna have to see that. We're gonna have to see that one day. Okay.
Hey, yo, like, you've been to a lot of American parties. How hard do you think Germans party? I'm like, bro, y'all taught me how to drink in like 15, 20 different ways, bro. I have never handled kegs, beer, liquor. I've never.
Okay, well, kegs are a thing here too. You know, we got that. Wait, what am I talking about? I don't know nothing about that. No. People, my family watches these. I don't know nothing about none of that. No, I've never done
that.
anything.
The way y'all showed me to handle that when I got to Germany this time. Y'all made sure I had a good time, and it was insane. So, had a blast. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Okay, here's the next one. Ordering water from restaurants. Now, the last time I was in Germany, I realized I didn't really have to do too much talking because there was always somebody next to me and they would immediately order something and then I would just kind of follow suit. This time, I was pretty much in the driver's seat. Every single situation I was in, I put myself in a situation to try to order the food myself. And 2 things I had to learn how to say because I kept forgetting them. Ich hätte gerne, which is, can I please have blah blah blah, and then also wir würden gerne zahlen, right?
Time out, rewind.
How to say because I kept forgetting them. Ich hätte gerne, which
ich and again.
Just can I please have blah blah blah, and then
ich and again.
Also wir würden gerne zahlen, right?
Wir würden gerne zahlen.
Wir würden
gerne zahlen.
Yeah, wir würden gerne zahlen, which is like, we would like the check. Bitte. Okay, so I had to learn how to say those things, obviously, when I was looking for the check, but for water, we're talking about water now. Every time I asked for a water, ich hätte gerne Vasa bitte, they'll give you a kleine Wasser, like the little water, little klein. It's about the size of Oops. It's about the size of this. It's like
Nah,
tiny.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like this
Nah,
big, and they give you a little shot glass, pour your little water in your little shot. I'm like, listen, y'all, I'm almost 5 meters, bro. I'm almost 2 meters tall. I'm almost 2 meters. I'm 1 meter, like 5'9". So I got like 8 centimeters to get there. But you get me? I'm a big dude. That little glass of water isn't gonna do anything for me. So I just thought that like I had to keep ordering small bottles of water, and I kept doing that. I'm like, Entschuldigung, ich hätte gerne ein mehr Vasa bitte. And the lady be like, oh yeah, sure. And gave me like a tiny little water. And then people at my table were like, bro, like you could just ask for like a big water or a gross Vasa. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. Ich hätte gerne ein groß Wasser bitte. But there's a way to ask for like a 1 liter water. Can you just say ein Liter Wasser bitte? Like kann ich ein Liter haben? But I wouldn't say that because they're like, can you have a 1 liter water bottle, sir? Ich hätte gerne ein Großwasser bitte. And then they'll bring you a big water bottle like this, and then a big ass beer mug. And then you're like, there you go. That's what you want to say. Ein Großwasser. I became
Großwasser.
very acquainted with that term. Now let me tell you about the wir würden gerne zahlen, right? Let me tell you about that. So I was eating at a restaurant with my friends, and we had finished our food. It had been like 20 minutes since we finished our food, and I'm trying to look for a waiter or a waitress so we can get the check. And I'm looking around, and I was kind of like, nervous because A, it was hard to get their attention, and B, I also wanted to, get their attention in German, but I was really nervous with my Deutsch because it's not the best, right? So,
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You doing better than I would, man. Like, shit.
I'm like, Entschuldigung, and they're like, yes. Now, everybody at my table told me to say, wir werden gerne zahlen, right? And they said it really fast. So I said it really fast. Then I'm like, Entschuldigung, wir werden gerne zahlen, bitte. And they literally like, oh, okay, the zahlen? Yeah, got you. And they gave me the check, and I'm like, huh? The way I said it, I thought I was speaking gibberish. I'm like, and they're like, oh. They gave me the fucking check, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I just cracked Da Vinci's code. I finally figured out how to receive.
He said, I feel like I cracked Da Vinci's code.
My bill at a restaurant. That was a victorious moment for me. So loved it. Absolutely loved it. All right. Last but not least, right? I'm going to keep this one real short. Filming laws in Germany. Now, I told you in the beginning of this video, Cologne is a very accepting place when it comes to a lot of things, a lot of social things and YouTuber-isms, right? Filming, live streaming. When I went to Essen, I went to Wuppertal, I went to Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf, people were way more cool with me filming there.
This is one of the nicest train stations. Yeah, no?
It's not allowed.
Not allowed?
Yeah, make it off.
Oh, okay.
But in Essen, Mönchengladbach, and Wuppertal, people were giving me some looks, and I actually got approached in Essen.
So, basically, bro, we had like a little bit of an issue already. I was waiting for this to happen, right? We basically got yelled at for filming. This guy, taxi driver, walked up to us and he's like, do you have a permit to film? He's saying this all in German, obviously. And of course I didn't have the right words to say, so I'm like dead silent. And like Fabi over here, he's like, you don't need a permit, bro. Like you weren't the main subject of the video. And dude was just going crazy on us, man. He's like, you need a permit. He kept going like this, permit, dude, where's your permit? Where's your permit? And I'm like, oh man, bro, this is about to be.
See, that's the situation where I wouldn't know what to do. Like, if I got some dude running up, yelling at me at some other language, I'm not sure how I would react. Like, I feel like I'd just be sitting there staring at him, like, confused. That's the worst confused face I've ever seen in my life. But I'd be like, huh? Like, I'd be that sounds like a horrible situation to be in. Just having some dude yelling at you, you having no idea what he's saying. Do you need to defend yourself? Is he just yelling, being loud? Like, that would be horrible.
Interesting day.
And then with the last little thing I'll say with the filming, right? Shout out to Jan. Jan, if you're watching this, thank you so much. He got us a filming permit in a bakery, so we were able to film inside the breakfast portion of the bakery, and we were able to film inside.
Why do y'all have such like crazy filming laws? I didn't even know about this, but like that's kind of interesting. Like what? Because like the way it is out here is pretty much like if you're in a public place, you're allowed to film. Now, people can ask you not to film, like, say, if you go into like a Walmart and stuff, like they can ask you not to film, but like because that's private property. But even so, if you're just walking, you know, down the street or whatever, you can film whatever you like it's public property. So that's interesting how, I don't know, how's German filming laws work? Especially if I'm like gonna go to Germany one day when this channel hopefully grows and like film my experience. That's probably something I want to know.
Side of the actual bakery itself. So we do drop these vlogs. You guys are going to absolutely love them. Please support them. We worked really hard and everything, and I had a very good time. I'm coming back in November to Hamburg, so there'll be a whole little series of videos on that. But when I do start dropping these vlogs, it's going to be crazy. Let me know if you guys see where I'm coming from with these culture shocks that make sense to me. I'll throw in one bonus, right? Okay. A German Fußballspiel. You guys are probably going to ask me, did I ever go to one during this trip? And the answer is...
Oh, football game. Football. Soccer. I'll call it football.
I'll see you soon.
Okay. Interesting. Now listen. I'm not going to lie. This was just interesting to watch, man. Like, this was interesting. But, without further ado, I want to know, to any Germans watching this, if you ever been to the U.S., what are culture shocks that got you, that you might make sense to you, or if it don't make sense, I don't know, maybe I could explain it. I don't know, maybe not. But hey, subscribe to Mr. James Bray, man. Ring the bell, click all, like, subscribe to me too, and I'm out. Bye.
With